Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host Khalid Mohidin, and this is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. Now, as you know, we've been doing these daily shows surrounding the cricket that is happening in South Africa, obviously the England series, and we've been doing a couple of shows now around the press conferences because I know that you guys won't have the time to obviously watch the full press conference. If you want to watch the full press conference, of course, and you are watching this video later, you can click the eye on the screen for that video, but also you can go to the playlist, the England series playlist that we have on this channel to go check out the press conferences. We've had Mark Poucher, Kagiso Rabada, and as well as Rassie van der Dussen. So we're going to be talking about Rassie today. And obviously we had Aditya attended again. And he actually asked a question today, and I was really excited about that. I was waiting for it, and I heard it there. I got all excited. I celebrated like a Man United was scoring. So it was quite a big moment for me, I felt. But we're going to get Aditya to talk about it, but also we're going to also play a clip of Rassie. We took a couple of clips out of the the show or out of the press conference so that you guys can listen to what he had to say. It's a very long press conference. It was close to 30, it was 30 odd minutes. So we can't obviously play you the entire press conference. If you want to watch it, obviously go to that on our channel. But before we get into the clip, I want you guys just to please remember to, obviously, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to this channel, click that notification bell for all future videos, and yeah, you can become part of the family. So as let's get into it. Let's play Rassie's my StreamYard compilation clip of Rassie van der Dussen. Here we go.
Quite a closely fought series, that one. Quite fresh in our minds. We feel though that we weren't necessarily at our best, especially looking at the T20 series, which was a disappointing one to lose. We played some really good cricket there, and the irony, I suppose, is we won the East London game, which we probably shouldn't have won. But we played pretty well in the other two, in Durban, with Quinny batting really well, and then us actually chasing really well, needing 3 of 2 balls in Durban to clinch the series, and and we just couldn't get it over the line. And then the Centurion one again, where we batted really well. I think we got 220 odd, and unfortunately we couldn't defend that, which is a score you back your bowling line up to defend. So aspects there that we can improve on. I don't think either team is much of a different team. So it's going to be a case of the team who sort of gets going first. After a long break for us, they've obviously been playing. Luckily for us, some of the IPL guys have been playing. So, like I said, we have pretty obvious areas where we need to improve, and that's what we'll look to do. Yeah, I think the overall message has been aggressive but smart. It's something that it's a philosophy that we want to take forward. We've been decent in it in his terms so far. Like I mentioned, the England series where we didn't really click, but then a few things came together nicely against Australia, obviously. Still in the T20 format against Australia, we weren't at our best, losing that series 2-1. So we've got work to do in the T20 format, but as an overall message, we're really clear of how we want to go about it, what our strengths are, and what areas we have to improve on. So, Mark Boucher, he's been brilliant in terms of clarifying that for us as a team, and from a personal point, role definition from players. So, I'm quite excited for where we are as a team. Let me start with the bowling. I think starting well with the ball, which is something we haven't really done. It's probably, if you look at it, the last series, our opening batters also put their bowlers under a lot of pressure, but being really disciplined in terms of starting with the ball against guys like Jason Roy, you can take the game away. And then I think our death bowling, I think the guys have worked really hard on that, and we've seen guys like Nortje and Rabada at the IPL how successful they've been. So that's an area I think we've improved on already. So I mean those are the two obvious points, and then I think last in the last series we had really good starts, and then with the bat, and then we just maybe fell away during the middle, and then we had really good finishes again. So that batting in the middle period, sort of over 7 to 15, is something that, I think there's a bit of improvement we can do there. And yeah, knowing the conditions in Cape Town and Boland, which is going to be two different approaches, I think that's going to be an area where we're going to look to really have a good improvement. Yeah, it might, but not necessarily. You can see the other side of the coin and say that they've played they're sort of almost at the end of a long season, so they're away from home again now, so there'll be some physical fatigue, there'll be some mental fatigue, and on the other side we're quite fresh. We've had the guys playing IPL, we've had local guys playing 1 or 2 4-day matches, so we're really fresh mentally, physically. Everyone's looking really good. We're good to go. We're keen to start playing again. It's been unprecedented times, and times that's made you realize how lucky you are to do what you do and how privileged you are. We're quite excited to go out there and get back to what we love doing.
So, guys, that's what Rassie had to say. I'm going to bring on Aditya now. Get your comments in the comment section. Let us know what you thought about what Rassie had to say. But I'm going to let Aditya come on because he was in the press conference. So he'll be able to give us some insights and his experience and attending the press conference. So welcome, Aditya, to the show once again. Just give us a summary about the press conference. What are some of the main talking points that you pulled out of it? And maybe some behind the scenes sneak peeks into what happened that we didn't show on here.
Well, I thought it was a well-rounded analysis of what South Africa's strengths and weaknesses were, and reflecting on the performance against England last year, as well as Australia. I think we now have a decent parameter of what we need to look for in the upcoming series against England. So the good starts, I think we need to see if South Africa can continue with that. The middle overs batting, overs 7 to 15. We need to see how, if they score, if they don't lose wickets there, and we need to see if KG and Andrik, assuming they're playing together, can replicate the performances that they produced in the IPL. So I think it'll be interesting, and it was good to hear Rassie talk about whether or not England have an edge, given the amount of cricket that they're playing. And he made a pretty smart comment that, saying that that's a double-edged sword because, they've been in the bio bubble environment for much longer. And so they're physically and mentally a lot more exhausted compared to the South Africans. Some of whom have played the IPL, but generally they're physically and mentally fresh, which will serve them well in this series. So that was there. And then, of course, towards the end, Rassie talked about the fact that, he was fine in the bio bubble environment that he was in. And being pretty self-sufficient in that sense. He was just happy spending his time reading and being by himself. So
yeah, that was excellent. It was an excellent press conference. I think they dealt with everything that needed to be dealt with. It was nice to also hear, because we didn't play that clip as well, but you can find it in the full press conference. But he spoke about his own performances as well. He spoke about what he's going to do to change his game or to improve his game. Especially, he spoke about Test cricket, getting those centuries, but he never really had the opportunities to obviously turn it on to get those centuries that he wanted to, and maybe making some changes. He said like extra 5%, I think he said, Aditya, that he wants to add to his game. Also, his ability to play against spin, he wants to work on a little bit as well. So Rassie gave us some amazing insights into what we can expect with the Proteas. I think that, especially that we know that we've been talking about it quite a bit, that aggressive, smart brand of cricket that South Africa want to play. That, like I said again, and I've been saying it so many times on so many streams, that smart word is so important, the word smart, because it's good and all well and good to play an aggressive brand of cricket, but if you're not being able to adapt your game to situations and to conditions and not think about when to go ahead and steam ahead and when not to, you'll get into big trouble. Sorry about that. So Yeah, I love Rassie. I've had so many opportunities to interview him and chat to him, and he's always been such a nice guy. There's one particular moment that really stood out to me about Rassie, and it was at Paul. Now, obviously, they're going to be playing some of the games at Paul. I think the two play two games, one T20 and one ODI. I think that's the closest conditions that they'll get to India. With regards to getting spinners to play on that wicket, it's a little bit of a slower track. So I think obviously giving an extra spinner an opportunity in those particular games are going to be key to be able to test, to see what we have available, because we're going to have to play two or three maybe spinners in India in those conditions. So there was a particular game in Paul against the Cobras, and Rassie was batting with Vian Libber, and he got a bee sting in his neck while the game was on, and it flew into his visor and went in, and he gave him a sting on the neck, and he ran off the field to go get it treated. And I was like, "Are you gonna go bat again?" He's like, "Yeah, that's fine. Just don't worry about it." They took it out. He went on to go bat again, and it was all joke and funny about it. He wasn't like, sometimes you'll get cricketers, or you'll maybe get celebrities, or senior players that sulk a bit, or they get, if something doesn't go their way, or they're not in conditions that they're supposed to be playing in, they complain about it. And Rassie's never ever been that person. He's been always so down to earth. There's no reason for him to have given me an interview as an up and coming journalist. He gave me one of my first major interviews at the CSA Awards. There was no need for him to actually give me that as a new fresh publication, to be able to do that, and he did it. He had a nice conversation with me, an awesome conversation, and that's why we made him actually the first issue of our magazine was Rassie van der Dussen on the front. And his message to everybody was, if I can do it, you can do it, because he's in that situation now when he's over 30 now, he's getting, and you want that opportunities to be, you get those opportunities late in your life, and you take it. And he's an example to all experienced guys. That's what you should be doing when you get an opportunity to obviously play cricket as a more senior player. You have to hit the ground running, and that's exactly what Rassie did. There's one more thing I want to speak to you about, and I want to get your opinion on that, Aditya, is when he said that he wants to bat in the number 3 position for South Africa, but because he knows Faf is world class and Faf deserves that spot, he's fine with the number 4 position. And he said that they kind of very close, so he's happy to bat anywhere for his country, but he would prefer to bat number 3. What do you think about that comment?
The 3 and 4 position, they're a debate, with virtually every team in world cricket. And, we talk about it with respect to England, with Joe Root not wanting to bat at number 3, preferring number 4. Whereas in India, we had our own struggles with the number 3 and number 4 position, because there's no way that Virat Kohli is going to bat anywhere else but 3 for the betterment of the team. I think he would bat elsewhere if he needed to, but betterment of the team. So similarly here, he understands that, I think, and he's right, that Faf du Plessis is South Africa's best number 3, and his numbers in white ball cricket are outstanding. So he does deserve that position. As for number 4, there's one thing that Faf had said a while ago, which was that when batsmen bat outside their preferred positions, it helps their game grow. And when Faf moves on, and I think Rassie would then be moved to number 3, I think it would help his game, because he sort of learned the art of adapting. You look at Test cricket, for example. I think in that famous draw in Adelaide, in which Faf scored 110, I think he batted at number 6 or 7 in that game, and that's where he saved the team from. So I think there is merit to the idea that that when you're batting outside your preferred position, the fact that you have to adapt helps your game grow. And so I guess Rassie in time will have earned it, and he'll make it his own.
Yeah. Here we go. Werner saying this, and this shows. I just want to talk a little bit more about the Rassie. It's an opportunity for us to do that and talk about our players. He says, I tried to get a selfie with Rassie in his debut test match at Supersport Park last year, but he couldn't because he had to get in the nets. But I could see he felt bad that he didn't have the time. Genuine guy, nice guy, and he really is. I can't talk more about it, and this is one of the reasons why I would say I don't want AB de Villiers back. And I know that a lot of people would say that I'm crazy. And I'm not saying that I don't want AB back and the opportunity should be just taken off the table completely. But I'm so afraid of guys like this, guys like Rassie that have dedicated their time, their effort, their life, their everything to play for South Africa. They've been custodians of the game in South African cricket. They've played domestic cricket for a long time, could never get into the team. They get the opportunity, they perform well, and then they have to miss out because someone else comes in late. And I don't want that to happen to a guy like Rassie. I think that he has the ability to be able to play that role. He was one of our best batsmen in the World Cup. He was one of our best batsmen in the series against England and Australia. So I don't, and in all formats, he's proven that he's key. Imagine a Rassie van der Dussen in a batting lineup that is performing well, that is consistently performing well, with an opening batting pair that is performing well, putting at least 60 plus on the board every single power play. Imagine that type of if we can get that right. I mean, of course, you'd want to see that, and that will set the platform for a guy like Rassie, that he doesn't come in every single time and he's under pressure, but he has that ability. He has that BMT type of ability to come in under pressure and to put on a show. He mentioned it, and it's so true what he said. And I was like smiling when I heard him say it, when he said he feels that he's the type of player that he can come in if the chips are down, because he's been an opener before. He knows how to open. That's where his career started. If they lose an early wicket, he can come in and he can play a game. If they don't, and the opening pair plays well, and then they lose a wicket, and there's a springboard for him to perform from, he can do that. And also at the end of an innings, he feels that he can come in and bat well there. He said also that he felt that maybe he didn't have that ability, like you said earlier on, about him being able to capitalize quickly enough, and he's trying to obviously change that and work that out so that he can score at a lot quicker, because sometimes he batted a bit slowly and people were a bit frustrated about that, and he's trying to iron that up. I think the nerves will be gone. I think he understands the England cricketers a lot better. I think this is going to be Rassie's series. I just have this feeling that he's going to be one of the top performers in this series. But Aditya, let's just wrap it up. Just give me your final thoughts before we say bye to everyone.
You're absolutely right. I think this definitely has the potential to be a Rassie series, and I'd love for him to do extremely well at number 4, because let's not forget, right after the World Cup, which was perhaps Rassie's second high-profile, outing in international cricket. Faf said in one of the press conferences that, this guy is actually leadership material. So he's maybe 30, but he's supremely fit. He understands his game well. He's a smart cricketer. He's an intelligent, adaptable cricketer. And while he may be underrated in South Africa, he's actually a pretty sought-after cricketer in the Caribbean Premier League or in the T20 League in Canada. And so people recognize his talent, his aptitude for sort of the aggressive and smart cricket. So I think Mark Boucher's aggressive but smart philosophy, to me, epitomizes Rassie van der Dussen.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
And he's going to make a show. He's going to be a huge cricketer for South Africa.
Yeah, that was hit the nail on the head there. Well done, Aditya. I'm going to end off with some fan comments. Rassie has definitely proven himself as a capable and mature batsman for our top order. Since his debut, he has batted quite a few positions with great success, so it will be great to see him at number 4. Vernie Rasmus saying, Rassie has performed exceptionally well. He has set the standard for the 30-year-olds coming into the setup. If others at that age don't perform in the first 2 series, rather go with younger players. Then we've got AB is the best, should play for SA. And of course, then we will get comments like that in every single video. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching this show. Don't forget to obviously go watch the press conference, the full press conference on the video. Don't forget to obviously subscribe to this channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos. Share this with all your fans, friends, and family, and everybody out there. We would obviously love to grow a lot faster. We are growing quite quickly. We haven't, I don't know if a lot of you guys are only subscribed to our YouTube channel, but head over to our, I'm messing this up now. Head over to our website, cricketfanaticsmag.com. We have an England series tab, so you just click on that and you'll be updated with everything that we produce when it comes to England content. Obviously, subscribe to our magazine. It's free. The link is on the screen and the link is in the description. If you have a business and you're looking to get sales online, we have a free video on teaching you to do exactly that with Cricket Fanatics Magazine is going to be your aid to do so. So tell all your friends and family that you know that have businesses that want to get sales online, especially during this pandemic when everything is difficult at the moment and people are trying to revive. We can try and our best to help you. Thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks a lot to our DJ for coming on the show again. And we'll see you guys all very, very soon. Take care, everyone.